Because of time, I want us to focus today on the agriculture. That's 1.3, page 29.
Yes.
The new agricultural revolution. This government has instituted or initiated many policies just to deal with the agri issues. One of them is termed the planting for food and jobs. That was part one. And I think the new agri minister, Honorable Brian Agyapong, has also launched the part two. Are you impressed with the way the policy has gone so far?
Yeah. You know, one of the problems we have had with our agricultural sector is not tackling agriculture comprehensively. We tackle it in piecemeal. And sometimes we reduce it to projects. Are you with me? A government may come and they'll be concerned only with one project. Agriculture covers forestry, fisheries, crops, animals, and agro-industries. Are you with me? So one project alone cannot solve this whole area. On top of that, agriculture is the one sector that is interconnected with all the other sectors.
Exactly.
Roads, it is there.
Yes.
Markets, it is there. Transportation, it is there. Health, it is there. If you're not healthy, you can't work on the farm. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Education, if you're not well educated, you cannot evolve your agriculture.
Exactly.
So the interface of agriculture with other sectors has to be managed very carefully if the agriculture is to evolve. And I don't like using these big words because sometimes people don't understand them. But what we mean is that it is going to change from one thing to another. It's going to transform. And that's why we use the word transformational change.
Okay.
Because if you are just changing, but you are not changing from one level to another, then you are just, it's like a baby growing without becoming an adult. Are you with me?
So, where are you going to?
Yeah. So what we are saying in our agriculture is that we have to handle it in such a way that we evolve it from where it is now into another form. And that means that we must deal with it comprehensively, and we must target the key things that hold it back, both at the input level, in terms of cost of finance, access to inputs, infrastructure, mechanization, but also access to markets, and also our trade policy. Now, those affect our transaction costs, and they also, to a large measure, determine whether our farmers can be competitive or not. You go to any container here, just along this road of yours, tomorrow just try it. Go to all the containers. Just see all the varieties of rice that are there and pick out the ones made in Ghana.
In Ghana.
Hardly any. Why? One container after another. So if you're not even in the shop of a container, how can you compete? Are you with me? And the farmer who is growing here and is not in the shops, how is he competing? It means that he's getting farm gate prices, and those farm gate prices are not going to take you anywhere. And you cannot then reinvest in your farm to go to the next level. So that evolution will not come. You understand what I'm saying? On top of that, you look at in the market, the competition that you have. If your cost of capital starts off at around 30%, 28%, then your neighbor has cost at 6%, 8%. How are you going to compete with him? You have even lost the race before you have started. Are you with me? If we have fuel costs, the fuel that the Uber driver is driving in is the same fuel you're putting in that big tractor to be plowing soil at the same cost. Are you with me? How are you going to compete? And then by the transportation, before you bring the goods to the market here, most of the shops have already been filled with foreign goods. So the import substitution is not working. And it all comes down to enhancing our productivity and also ensuring that we improve our access to markets.
How do you enhance your productivity?
You see, the productivity has two different levels. You have on-farm productivity. That's to say, yield per unit area, that we can improve the yield for the same amount of land. Are you with me? And that includes improved seed, all those things, fertilizer management, and all those things that we talk about. Are you? The other productivity comes from economy of scale, where as you scale up, it allows you to use other mechanized functions so that you are able to expand the farm and get a bigger income. And then you are able to make investments for additional technologies that will even be more productive. And even some of your labor, the use of your labor, will also be more cost effective. So those others are there. Then you have your access to markets. Imagine somebody, he produces 3 tons, just 3 tons of maize. You and I know, because we have come from villages to Accra here. But in our village, when you go to the farm in the morning, it's at least 5 kilometers away, 3 kilometers away, the nearest one. Are you with me? So now let's say that you have harvested and you have got 3 tons. It's in the bush. You have to walk with it. When you're going to the airport, don't tell you that 30 kilos is the maximum. You know why? Because it will affect your body, your spine. So let's say that the woman cannot carry more than 30 kilos and you have 3 tons of maize. Divide 30 by 3,000. 100 trips.
So, Doc, what would the Alliance, given the opportunity, do to deal with this particular issue?
We have to tackle those challenges on farm, are you with me? Improve feeder roads, track roads to farms, you know, and improve the feeder roads between the districts and the first markets, and put in equipment. For example, you could use these motor kings, lease them out to young men, north, east, and south of the village. Bring those things out for the villagers and charge a little money.
But Doc, it's happening.
Oh,
it's happening elsewhere. Maybe not on a large scale.
Not in a measure. You see, you have to concentrate on it. Are you with me?
Deliberate.
To make sure that you get a higher bulk of the goods moved out. Because so much, up till now, we are still talking about 30% of losses in post-harvest. So if we're talking of productivity, that's where you have to start. Don't plant more. If you're losing 30% of what you have already harvested, why don't you get that one instead of planting more?
That makes
That's
a lot
the
of
point
sense.
I'm trying to make, okay? So let's use those farm track roads and small equipments to bring that what we have harvested out of the farms. Already that's a 30% gain. And then get them to the first rural markets. The second thing is value addition. You know, we have been talking value addition, value addition, value addition. It's part of improving markets. If you have a product that is not going, but you add value to it, you will get a market for it. Are you with me?
Doc, what is value addition?
Value addition is just transforming the produce from its basic form to the next secondary stage. For example, I have rice paddy. Are you with me? If I mill it, I've added value to it. Now I can eat it. But you've never seen anybody who has harvested rice and starts eating the paddy. Are you with me? And that is a problem, because a lot of people who harvest rice, unless somebody buys it from them, they can't sell it to anybody.
Why?
Because they don't have problem with maize. Why? Because they can eat it immediately. Are you with me? Everybody can eat it. But with rice, you have to mill it. And if you don't have a mill to do it, you have to pound it. When you pound it, you break it. Are you with me? So it's very important to have that second chain to add value. And it's important that that infrastructure is deep in the rural area.
And Doc, you think this you are saying is not happening?
It's not happening because, you see...
Have you checked?
Oh, I know. I'm not saying it's not happening at all. How we are proposing for it to happen is that we have to have these agroecological parks. And these things are not happening because somebody is doing, the mill is over there, somebody is planting over there. We need to bring them together. And that is why we've asked that we do these agroecological parks where the processing, the production, are you with me, will all be in an enclave. And that is a deliberate infrastructure investment that will make it happen more in that area. Now, at the moment, if you have money, you will not take your mill over there. You want to stay near Accra and ask for the byproducts to do other things with it, which also defrays some of your costs. But if we have an integrated mill over there, we are doing rice, we're doing corn, we're doing soybean, etc. Within that compound, even the byproducts alone, we combine it and make poultry feed. And that gives us more value, it gives us more productivity. So at the end of the day, by having these agroecological parks in key areas, we'll be able to take that problem away, and we will give investment, low-cost investment, low single-digit interest rate for those people to manage those things.
Doc, where would the money come from to give these monies to the people?
Well, I think the first thing is that we have said already that, number one, we are going to strengthen and stabilize the economy. What do we mean by this? Where we have deliberate use of cedis to chase dollars, we will change that so that the dollars will chase the cedis.
Where we have deliberate
use. For example, we have our cocoa.
Yeah.
We grow it here.
Good.
So why should we go and borrow money in dollars to come and buy it? Let's liberalize the cocoa market enough that people here can buy the cocoa, bring it to the trading floor, are you with me, and and the dollars will come there and take it. Let's not put it on the burden of Cocoa Board to go and find that money and bring it. Are you with me? So that is one measure that we can take immediately. Also, we can increase the income that we get by making our port a free port. Are you with me?
Oh.
Right now, you are sitting here. Somebody is driving in the night to Togo to go and take his car out of the port there and bring it here to Ghana to drive it. Why? Because it's cheaper. It's a free port. And our port is bigger, and we have got 2 of them. So why can't you make Ghana a free port, our Tema a free port, so that we can get more through-flow volume here, and we will get more income from it, because Burkina, Niger, etc., they will rather come here because we have better infrastructure services here. So that's another area. Even the process of getting the goods out of the port, where you have, all these small taxes on top of each other, etc., crash all of those, consolidate them, and make it simple, and also reduce the time that you spend in the port, so the damages will go down. Sometimes somebody will be waiting for tax exemption. The amount of demurrage you pay is even more than the tax exemption you're going to get.
But so there's been some form of improvement at the ports with the introduction of the paperless system.
To some extent, but you can make, you can make it at a bigger scale. And that is the problem. One of the problems we are saying, are you with me, is that our attitude to tackling problems is always these small incremental gains, which are overtaken by events, and you're back where you started. So we've got to go for big gains, are you with me, that change and transform the situation. So these are the measures that we are talking about, together with other measures will be taken in the economy to make sure that we drive money into growth areas to generate growth, and also promote enterprise. Now, one of the key things you'll notice in this document is that we said enterprise economy. What do we mean by an enterprise economy? What do you mean by that? You know that we started with Stone Age. Then we went to Iron Age, are you with me, and Bronze Age, and then we came to the Industrial Revolution. Then we went to information technology. Yeah. Now, we're in the age of entrepreneurship. Now. So the people who are making money now, they don't pound things or make things, etc. They're people who are having entrepreneurial solutions to the problems that are faced by the billions of people in the world. So even if you're making only $1 from every person a day, you're making a lot of money. Big money. So those entrepreneurial solutions, that is the mindset that we want to give our younger people, that look, there's no more government job for you. As we are sitting here, we are trying to get our percentage of revenue that is spent on paying government salaries, who are only 2% of the population, and we're spending more than 76% of our revenue on them. We're trying to reduce that to 30. do you get my point? Okay. We have said we'll reduce that to 30.
You see, the question is how.
No.
We will do this.
Yeah, no.
We will do that. But the how, because I want to believe that if it were that simple, various governments would have, achieve that.
Oh,
so my emphasis is on the how.
First of all, some of these policy changes, are you and me, require you to make the policy change and then implement it. Then the money that we need to come out of it, we have estimated what we will get from the free port. We have estimated what we will get from not, using syndication for the cocoa. We've also estimated what we will get in reviewing.
Is it here?
Yes.
Okay.
In reviewing some of the loans that we have, the terms that we have given to people investing in the natural resource play to get 30% of the share for us. So that will be added income that will come in.
Okay.
Then each of the areas, in agriculture, we have the interventions of the agro parks we've talked about. In other areas, are you with me? We have specific interventions which are all packed together so that they support each other. Okay. We don't want to be doing things as stand alone. You understand? So we have said here, look, if you look at this,
which page?
For example, if you're talking about business regulatory reform, are you with me? We established a comprehensive program to ease doing of business in Ghana, covering the following areas: securing permits, licenses, getting access to this, having one-stop centers, public constitutional portal, regulatory impact assessment, rolling regulatory review, targeted regulatory reliefs. Then you go into the tourism sector, improving tourism infrastructure, facilitation support for the promotion of tourism, funding and financing of tourism.
Good.
Now, some of these issues mean also that in terms of the total economy, we have to take a step back and ask ourselves a very basic question. We have been on this IMF World Bank track for so long.
Yeah.
Is that the only source of money in the world?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's
and are there other sources of money? And are there other sources of money that can allow us the space to grow at the pace we want to grow here? So we will have to realign ourselves. You understand? And take those, policy decisions that ensure that we're correctly aligned in the global space to seek the kind of investment that will help us to grow this economy at the pace we want it to grow.
Okay.
But the important thing is that across the sector, both in tourism, in terms of also looking at the governance cluster, cutting the waste in terms of corruption, we have said that we will be very strong on the issue of ensuring that we recover most of the properties that have been sold to people, are you with me, without due process, and also which have been orchestrated to benefit a few at the expense of the many. Okay. We have also been very clear that where there are clear instances where deliberate financial loss has been caused, there will be punitive measures taken. We don't have a track record. Are you with me?
Okay, yes.
And so we can take those decisions.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we are also looking at other positive things. What can we do in terms of local government?
Look, our time is almost up.
Yes.
Yes.
But there's one thing that I think I should mention.
Yes.
Because, there are a lot of areas.
Yes.
In terms of governance, we need to look at the possibility of reducing the total numbers of ministers to less than 40. This country has been run with only about 29 ministers before, and it worked very well. So we don't.
But the numbers were not like this. The population was not like this.
Yeah, but if you go by population, then you wouldn't have more ministers. Some other countries have more population than you, but they don't have the number of ministers you have. So that is not a direct correlation. But the key thing that we are saying is that we will cut costs in the public sector, constrict governance. The cutting ministers is only one thing, but also the architecture of local administration to make sure that we deepen decentralization right to the grassroots level. It will not be hanging somewhere in the district level. We'll go all the way to the grassroots level so that we have investments there, and that is a way of engaging more of our young, National Youth Service in offices there that will be involved in projects that we, and private companies that will be set up there.
Okay.
And then in terms of consensus and cohesion at the national level, we want to have a second chamber that will bring all the stakeholders, key stakeholders in the country together. They will be there by representation.
Okay.
We're talking about the religious group, the students, the trade unions, workers, teachers, marketing people, chiefs as well. Thereby, in other words, your group should elect you to be there.
That's
for a tenure. You understand?
Thank
so
you.
That will then act as a second chamber.
Thank you. Doc, all too soon, time is fast spent. Looking at the membership, the names you mentioned, one will say that some of them have had the opportunity